Hey, this is my first YouTube tutorial, so yeah, and today we're gonna learn a little bit of C. So I hope you like it. So I'm gonna fire up Emacs and create a new file called uh let's see. We create a file called test.c, and the first thing we need to do in C is include the standard libraries or any libraries that you want to use. So you use hash include and you follow it by a less than sign and type the for greater than sign after, and then you between you say the name of the library that you want. So it's stdio.h. In C we always use the .h, the ending. We in C++ it's a mix of with with .h in the ending or without, but we are doing C, not C++. So now we need to declare our entry point, and let me just save this. But let me do something first. Try ls and try to compile test.c. Uh, we have here, it's in Portuguese, but we do not have a main function. So we need to write it. So int main. Uh, I'll explain what int main is, but we have here int. Int is an integer. If you have programmed before, you know what an integer is, but it's basically a whole number without fractional parts. And main is just the name of our function. That's the main function. And here inside, I'll specify void inside the parentheses because we don't want to accept any parameters. So if you're new to programming, parameters are variables that modifies the output of function. Parameters are variables that modifies an output, the output of a function. And function accept inputs and produce out outputs. And we have here the parameters are the input. So parameters are the variables that modify the output, aka inputs. So here we have the int main void. But when I try to compile again, I'll do gcc. Let's see again. It compiles, but when I execute test.a.out, it doesn't do nothing. So you see a blank thing here. So what should we do? Should first, since it is an int function, the int here is the return type. So in C, every function needs to return something, except if it's a void function. The return type is void. But be careful. This is not the function type. This is the void parameter, which basically no parameters needed. This, however, the int here, wait, the int here is the actual function return type. So we need to return something. So in C, we need to type return, I type correctly, return, and then we need to return 0. But let me try any number like 12. GCC a dot out, it works. But if you have something that is not zero, you will not, it's not a success return. So just remember that zero is success. I think that's how you type success. But when we return a function, we need to return, especially in a main function, we need to return zero, because if we don't return zero, like we return -1, it's fail. You have a bad function. You failed. So zero. And except you need to like, oh, I need to make a function that returns an error. It's rare to do that, but not here. We don't do that here. So we have here return zero. Okay, our code is working, but we need to make something. We need to make a thing that works. I mean, that works, but it doesn't do nothing. It just like executes. So I want to print a string. So to print a string, I say printf, open parentheses. By the way, this things here, these things here are the curly braces, and they are required when we are opening a function and closing a function. And they are like a block of code. When if I have here something, I can even put this here, I guess. I haven't tried this in a long time, but let me, oh, I'll explain hello world later. But this thing here, it's probably compilable, and it works. Okay, so this is a block of code. The curly braces, let me note that curly braces indicate you block of code. And I'll explain this later, but this is scope. Just note the, just like take note of the word scope. Okay, so we have here printf, and then we have the text, hello world. We can say anything here. We can like say hello Seaman. Nice studying reference, by the way. And then we have /n here in the, when we finish the sentence. Watch if I have the sentence here, and with the /n, and without /n. You see the difference. The first one, it skips a line when it finishes, and the second one, it just not skips a line. So the /n is a special character that breaks a line. It breaks a line, and just not type, just it's not just Z. It's a /n. Technically, it's a \n, but yeah, it's a backslash. And then we have here these quotes here. So this is really important. We have quotes. Quotes are really important because if I omit the quotes and we run, see how many minutes, okay. We have here hello undeclared, because it's when we omit the quotes, it's not treating it as a text. It is treating it like a variable or a function or anything that is specific to the program, like a label defined by you. And strings, and I mean, yeah, strings, aka text, is not a label, it's just a value. Quotes are important to delimitate text. They mark, they it close exists exist when work. So yeah, it's a really long thing here. It's a really long tutorial, but let me just do something here that you guys want wanna see. Like when I put an uh, F in like before the printf and write std err comma uh comma comma or this symbol here and space. When we do this, it like prints to the S standard error. So this is good for debugging. So let me printf stdr. This is an error. Slash n. Just this is an error. And notice that first we execute hello seaman and then we execute this is an error because the order of the code matters. So yeah, this is the basic C tutorial. In the next one we are going to see about conditionals. And yeah, bye bye.